About a year ago, we had a 35-year-old black single girl who came to our hospital with the hope of getting treatment here. She was diagnosed having serious kidney disease. There are 2 programs here for indigent people. Both of them turned her down. And she came back to our hospital knowing that she had a short time to live. And that made it even more difficult because we knew that in our society we have means and ways of prolonging her life, but she couldn't afford it. The staff then, who could not accept this, they regarded her as a beautiful person, and they could not accept that this young woman had to die. She came to our seminar, and at the end she said very calmly, you know, I know I'm going to die very soon. When I die, it's just like going to be transplanted from this garden to the next garden. And I think my gut reaction at that time was, that easy? And she looked at me and she said, no, it's not that easy. There is something that bothers me, but I can't put my finger on it. And she couldn't do it, and I think partially perhaps because it was a teaching seminar. So a few days later, I had a strong urge to see her. And when I went to visit her, she had the same urgent need to what we call to finish unfinished business. So we sat together like 2 children searching in the dark for something we had lost, but not quite knowing what it was. And all she could say is, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad. And we searched together, and finally she was able to say, you know, I've been calling God for help when things were bad, but I didn't call him when things were all right. What do you say to that, Dr. Ross? And I told her that children do this all the time. When they hurt, they go to mother, and when they're okay, they go their own merry way. And she looked with a happy, peaceful smile, and she said, you know, what you're saying is that this is human. And I nodded my head, and she was lying back in her pillows very peacefully. And then she did something that no other patient ever did before or after. She looked at me and she said, what is your concept of death, Dr. Ross? And I looked at her, surprised. And then it dawned on me. You know, we always think it shall happen to thee and to thee, but not to me. And then I caught my breath and I looked at her face, at this beautiful face. And I said, peace. And I really meant it. And she looked back at me with this beautiful smile and she said, I'm going very peacefully now from this garden to the next garden.